Yo, what's good everyone? It is GlitchXCity here, and today I'll be giving you guys our Pokemon NPA Season 6 Week 7. I can't do math. As you guys see on your screen, the Big Island Weasels, are taking on the Brighton Bronzors for Week 7 of the NPA, like I said. And we're in a pretty good position right now, because if I'm not mistaken, as of Week 6, I don't remember our rank. Wow, I am so bad. I'm gonna look it up right now, because I'm curious. Week 6, official Week 6. Alright, so if I did the spreadsheet right, as of now of Week 6, we are 3rd place behind Amsterdam, Napalms, and Pittsburgh Steelix. We do all have the same record other than differential. Even though I've won my matches, my points have been rather low because I either win by like a 1-0, or a 3-0. But other than that, as you can see, we're up against the Brighton Bronzors, coached by Evan. He is 3-3 so far, and he's sitting kind of neutral right now. If I'm not mistaken, his differential is negative, but still a good shot of him at playoffs. I would know because of, I don't know, just because like I've been managing the spreadsheet, stuff has gone down, and especially with 2 of our players dropping out, with both of them not really having a chance of making playoffs. And it's just apparent that I think his last 2 matches are those 2 people, so he gets 2 free wins at the end of the season, which is kind of crazy. So, this match is kind of important in terms of securing playoffs, because if we lose, it could be cutting it close. So, I mean, it'd be disappointing for me if I did so well in like the first half, and then in the last half I just do poorly, and then I just end up not making or just barely miss out. So that would be very annoying. But other than that, we're going to get right into this. As you can see on your screen, we have 3 little highlights at the bottom, just random highlights, honestly, that really impacted the match, or the middle one being a crucial one. But you guys will see later on in the match as we'll get into this. But other than that, we'll get right into his team. As you can see, he has a very threatening team. I was like, yo, this team is so scary. He has Manaphy, Infernape, Reuniclus, which is a blobby piece of crap, Mega Aerodactyl, base 150 speed, Gorgai's really bulky, Druddigon, Infernape, Aerodactyl, and Crocodile, all of his rock setters. Crocodile could be offensive or defensive with Intimidate. Scizor is scary with Technician, BP. Tapu Koko is always a problem. Kamala is really good Spadef-wise. Also could be run offensively or defensively with Wish. Comatose, really cool ability. And last but not least, he has Avalugg, really bulky ice type, or on the physical side anyway. But other than that, we'll get right into our team. As you guys can see, our first Pokemon here is Velveeta. I'm going to try and get through this quickly because I really don't want to. Because, like, if you guys noticed that if there was no match last week, this was the match I was supposed to go up last week, but I was busy on the weekend. But other than that, we got our first Pokemon here being Velveeta the Dedenne with the Assault Vest. The Assault Vest, oh my god. Alright, so originally, this was a Choice Scarf set, and with the Dedenne at base 101 speed, it outspeeds Manaphy, and the only thing it doesn't outspeed is Koko, Infernape, and Aerodactyl, but everything else it outspeeds even Manaphy by 1 base point. So as you can see, we are max speed timid with the Assault Vest, and Assault Vest for the reason of having a decent, or kind of like a 1-time, 2-time switch into Tapu Koko, because in the electric terrain with the Assault Vest, he's still doing like at least around 30% to us, if not more, in the electric terrain with Thunderbolt. So the Dedenne will get wear down easily, but if you look at my team as a whole, excluding the next Pokemon, which does still kind of get countered by Koko, the Dedenne is like, kind of like an early switch in if I ever get pressured. But I did have Scarf in case, because like I can do massive damage to Manaphy. I pressure Aerodactyl with Scarf, and I can also outspeed Infernape if it's not Scarfed as well. And with the electric terrain, our Thunderbolt and Volt Switch will be boosted. U-turn and Volt Switch if like I need stab, but if say I predict the Crocodile, I can click U-turn instead. And HP Fire mainly for the Scizor. I could bring like HP Ice for Gorgai's, Druddigon, and Crocodile, but I don't think it's that necessary. And if you look at my team as a whole, I don't really have any other fire type attacks at all, so we're gonna have HP Fire to kind of like patch that up. So yeah, very simple spread, just forward smacked into HP, basically max special attack. But next up we have 00 Atrix. Yo, my guy is here. And if you guys look at our team, but actually no, you guys don't see this, but we did make a few transactions. If you guys know Brent, coach of the Washington Witchcats, which was our last NPA Week 6 opponent, well, you guys, I'll just explain this now, but we traded Hershey Donphan. I felt so bad. We traded Donphan over to the Washington Witchcatch in exchange for Entei, which is unfortunately not coming this week. And Evan is like wondering why I didn't bring Entei this week. And I don't know. I just don't see I don't really see a spot for it, honestly. Even if he does have a Scizor. But yeah, we did get Entei. We got rid of Donphan, and I also dropped Drampa for Flygon, as we do keep our Dragon typing, but we also get a Ground type that we lost in Donphan. Unfortunately, it doesn't get Rocks, but it does get Defog, so we still keep a sort of hazard removal. Not my preference, but you know, we're gonna roll with it. Actually, I think I already announced this in week 6. Did I? Yeah, I already did. JK, I'm stupid. But we're running an interesting spread here with Flygon. We are a Scarf set with Earthquake, U-Turn, Roost, Stone Edge. He does have Druddigan, but I don't really see the need for Dragon Stab other than Druddigan. And I feel like I don't think it'll be that much of a problem depending on my scenario. I just think that these 4 moves are more important than Dragon Stab. And I am Scarf. And you can see on my on my EV spread that we are a physically defensive Flygon, max HP 188 in defense, 20 in attack, enough speed on Flygon to outspeed a Mega Aerodactyl, I believe, if I'm correct. If not, then I'm stupid. But we have Earthquake, U-Turn, Roost, and Stone Edge. And this is basically a really good switch in to Mega Aerodactyl. If he doesn't click Ice Fang, I can take any 2 hits from the Mega Aerodactyl if it's Adamant, Wing Attack, Aerial Ace, Stone Edge, whatever it may be. And maybe he'll expect to outspeed the next turn, and then I'll be like, yep, JK, I'll pull out the Stone Edge, get a decent, like at least 50% off on the Aerodactyl, but most likely I'll use it as a pivot rather more. But and it's also a really good switch in. Kind of like, if you look at my team as a whole, it's really not that bulky, and one of his main threats to me is Infernape. If it's like Scarf, Banded, Life Orb, then like that's gonna be a problem. If it's Life Orb, I plan to bring in Flygon, and then he'll close combat, and then it'll probably do over half if I remember, and then I can Earthbite the turn after as I am Scarf. If he's Scarfed as well, I can take 2 close combats no problem from full, and then even if he does go first, I still will be able to kill. So either I force the switch or I get rid of the Infernape. U-turn for initiative, Roost for recovery. Even though we're Scarfed, I can bring this in on something like Coco. If he knows I'm Scarfed, I can click Roost, predicting him to switch if he wants to preserve the top of Coco. And you guys already know what Stone Edge for. Stone Edge, I mean, it's really only there for Aerodactyl, and it gives me something to hit the Avalok a little bit harder. And say I have, say he has Infernape and Aerodactyl left, but Scarf, and I can only lock myself into one thing. If Infernape is in the range where Stone Edge can kill, I can go for that, and I will also 2-hit kill Aerodactyl. If not, Oko it from where it will be, depending on the situation. But yeah, Atrix said this was a waste of EVs. In my opinion, it's not that bad. Depending on how the match goes, I can actually like clean up his team with Scarfed Flygon with Earthquake. I just need to weaken certain mons, like, or like get rid of Avalok, weaken Reuniclus, or Crocodile with Intimidate would be annoying because then I'll be forced to switch. I wouldn't be able to kill certain things. But next up, oh yeah, I can also take a Bullet Punch from Scizor, so that's cool too. And I should bring Fire Punch, honestly. I don't know. I didn't, but next up we have Swarovski, our Mega Diancie. We got Power Gem, Moonblast, Explosion, and Stealth Rocks. We are running a max HP, almost max HP, max physically defensive, Bold Nature. And you're probably wondering, why do you have Bold Nature and you're running Explosion? And why do you have no speed investment? Well, looking at my Diancie spreads in the past, or a few weeks back, I've usually been running either max speed, max special attack, or just max speed, max HP to be fast and bulky. But this time I'm going to be physically bulky, and one reason for that is because one, Scarfed Infernape is pretty likely. If he's Manaphy, I'm pretty sure it would be bulky rather than offensive. I don't know, but like Manaphy is not really the main thing. The thing is that I can take a Scarfed Earthquake from Crocodile. I can take on Aerodactyl better. So say he brings an Aerodactyl, you can click EQ. JK, we actually live the hit. I can kill it with Power Gem. I can take hits better from a physical Infernape, and you know, that's mainly my main recall. Like looking at his team, his fastest Pokemon are the Manaphy, Infernape, Tapu Koko, and the Mega Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl reach 150, Tapu Koko is like 130, and Infernape is base 108. I don't think it's like, I wouldn't outspeed 2 of those Pokemon anyway, and the majority of his team is slow. So, I mean, unless his Crocodile is like speedy, then yeah, Diancie wouldn't outspeed. But more than likely, he'll probably expect me to be invested in speed, or at least outspeed a max speed Crocodile. and like, you know, most of his team is slow, and to me it wasn't worth it to run max speed just to outspeed an Infernape, whereas I can go physically defensive and rather take a hit from it and then kill it off. But that's just me. And Explosion is mainly there for Reuniclus. I cannot allow that thing to like completely wall me, although my prep for it this week is really bad, and like I was out for the weekend, so, and I was trying to get my battle in with Evan like as soon as possible before Saturday, but unfortunately I wasn't able to do that, so I just kind of rushed the prep and I just kind of went with it. I was like, you know what, screw this. So yeah, I have Explosion. It does at least 50% to a max physically defensive, max HP Reuniclus. So before I die, I can click Explosion. The only bad thing is that if he clicks Recover, then I just died for nothing. But you know, maybe the anti is not important as much. And then Stealth Dox is there because I'm not bringing Registeel. And yeah, Registeel is like my only other rocker, and we're not bringing it this week. Next up, we have Moonrise the Umbreon. Foul Play, Wish Protect, Baton Pass. Physically defensive with leftovers. We are able to take a close combat from Infernape if it's not Life Orb. If it is Life Orb, it would probably be a roll. But yeah, this is basically our pivot. This is actually a good switch into Reuniclus as well. Depending on his IVs and attack, Foul Play should be able to do a decent amount to where maybe we should win. Maybe. I didn't think it out of my head. But it's physically defensive. I take hits from Scizor better, take hits from Aerodactyl. And it's kind of like my only switch for Aerodactyl if Flygon gets too low. But next up we have Huzzah the Hawlucha. Hawlucha better put in like the finest this week because we're running a Citrus Berry set with Unburden, High Jump Kick, Acrobatics, Poison Jab, SD, straight out setup and just attack. 92 HP, enough attack for something. We're running a Adamant Hawlucha, and I think we're Adamant max speed or 252 in speed because of, I want to say, I forgot what it was, but it was the outspeed something, and we could run Adamant. And even if he does have Infernape in, I don't think he'll risk me being max speed and possibly killing him. So that's the reason for me not running Jolly. And I want to put as much damage output as possible, because come on, look at this man, he has 92 base attack. But getting an SDL would be crucial if I can buy Citrus Berry on Burden. Plus 2 Acrobatics to Reuniclus does at least 50%. And then everything else I should be able to OHKO. Avalok gets 2 killed. Crocodile dies, Dredican dies, Scizor dies, Kumulata dies, Tapu Koko dies to PJ. Gorgeist dies, Infernape dies, Manaphy probably dies to High Jump Kick, and Aerodactyl just gets bodied. So, and then last but not least, I have McQueen with the Scolipede with a Focus Sash, and we got Mega Horn, Aqua Tail, Earthquake, SD, max attack, Adamant, max speed, and I think this is for the Manaphy, I think we had an, I don't know, I really don't remember. But we got SD. We do have 2 setup users, but it's fine. Mega Horn, Aqua Tail, Earthquake. This is basically my main way to possibly pick off, most likely way to pick off Reuniclus. If I can get an SD up at some point, or just simply bring a Scolipede, click the Mega Horn, did not miss, kill the Reuniclus. And if I can wear down his team, he doesn't really have a good switch into Mega Horn, other than Infernape, Aerodactyl, Dredican, and Scizor. But Scizor, if it gets too weakened, if it doesn't have Roost, it'll get weakened pretty easily. Infernape, if I get the speed boost afterwards, I should be able to outspeed unless he's like max speed Jolly. Manaphy, I'll be able to outspeed afterwards. And Mega Aerodactyl, I should be able to outspeed after a +1 speed boost if he switches it in. Click Aqua Tail the following turn and OHKO it. So I really like this set. I mean, this is kind of meant to break holes, but like kind of like a late game thing. And Hawlucha's kind of like there to put on the pressure immediately. And then Diancie with Explosion gives me the opportunity to set up with either of these 2 Pokemon. Umbreon to pivot, the Dene just because it's the Dene. And Atrix is pretty much a fast defensive pivot. But other than that, we're going to get right into the battle. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, we are back, and we have the battle right here as you can see on your screen. If you saw our prep, then you guys definitely know what we're bringing. But as you can see on the screen, the man brought all the threats, being the Scizor, Dredican, Tapu Koko, Infernape, Reuniclus, and Crocodile. And as you can see, we do have our team right here. And you know, I kind of regret this because like, one, this shouldn't even be allowed, and like these weren't even the intentional rules. But Evan was like, yo, make sure your Mega is Mega'd up. And I'm like, why? Like, it doesn't make any sense because you're supposed to have your Mega pre-Mega'd before Mega evolves. It has to Mega evolve within the battle. But I was like, you know what, screw it, because like I said, I was out of town. I had stuff to do. I was like, you know what, screw this. But as you guys will see later on, it kind of came into play, and I'm actually kind of salty because I didn't realize this after the battle. But we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and leave with my Dedenne. It has a pretty good matchup against everything. I can U-turn on the Crocodile. If it's Scarf with Earthquake, I can just go into my Flygon. But I feel like I would click the knockoff in that case. Scizor, I can HP Fire. And looking at it, he didn't bring Mega Aerodactyl or Manaphy, so the Dedenne is kind of like our most expendable Pokemon. But I need to at least get some damage on the Scizor. And if he goes into Tapu Koko, he'll probably Volt Switch, and I'll just click Volt Switch on my own, or just click U-turn predicting Crook. I can U-turn on Reuniclus. If it's Infernape, then I'll probably expect like a sash lead, and then I can break a sash. I don't know. But we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna lead with our Dedenne, and don't question my avatar. But here he goes. Here you can see he switches out, hard switches out, and goes in a crocodile. As I just simply go for an HP fire. If I was real, I would have clicked U-turn. But we get a nice 20% off, and as you guys will see, I have to actually make a play. Either I switch into Flygon or Hawlucha, hard switch out into Flygon or Hawlucha, and predict the Earthquake, or just simply predict the knockoff and go into my Diancie. So here looking at it, I don't know if he's Scarf, so here I'm going to take a risk. If he's Scarf, he kills my Dedenne. If he's not, then I can get a U-turn off. But here I'm going to click U-turn. Apparently he's not Scarf rather than Tank a Berry, and that does absolutely no damage. But at least we know his item, that's great. But here, you guys will see a pretty questionable blade play in my opinion. You know, it's kind of like a decent play. But here, I'm going to go into my Mega Diancie, expecting him to knock off, because like, I have two, because one, I have 2 ground immunities, and I have an Umbreon. So in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, he wants to go into one of those ground immunities, and if I go into Umbreon, I'm pretty sure he would rather knock off in case I had like a Chople Berry or just to get rid of leftovers to wither down my Umbreon immediately. So predicting a knockoff, I'm gonna go into my Diancie, which is, he goes for Earthquake, and I was so confused. I was like, wow, I thought he would click knockoff. But he goes for Earthquake, and that kind of surprised me. I knew I would live one in case I mispredicted, so I was fine with it, and I know he's not Scarfed. But I don't know if he's invested. If he's invested, I most likely don't outspeed, because like I said, I have like 4 investments in speed on this Diancie. But that was really weird because like I was expecting a knockoff, and because I have 2 ground immunities and I have Umbreon, so I thought he would just click knockoff for sure for the safe play. And this is where me having a Mega Diancie right away sucks, because usually regular Diancie has more bulk than Mega Diancie. So if I just like follow the intentional rules like every other freaking league, then I would have just had it as a regular Diancie. I probably would have taken less earthquake damage, because my defenses would have been like 150, and it's like it dropped by 50 immediately, and I would have taken less damage from earthquake. And you guys will see later on that really matters. But other than that, I'm gonna predict this man to switch. Even though I probably don't outspeed, I'm gonna go ahead and click my Stealth Rocks, get up these rocks as he brings in the Tapu Koko, and I was like, wow, that's an interesting play. So I don't know if he calced it and found that I'm physically defensive, but I'm pretty sure he did. But other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and switch into my Dedenne, and this is why it's here. He goes to the Thunderbolt, as like I said, even in electric terrain with the Assault Vest, we're taking like at least 30%, 35 right there. But other than that, I'm gonna simply click Volt Switch this turn as he goes for the U-turn. So like I said, Dedenne is kind of like a one-time switch in as he brings in Reuniclus. Oh, I clicked U-turn, I'm stupid. But here, I'm gonna go into my Flygon, and like I said, I really don't have much to handle this thing, and Mega Horn, depending on his spread, doesn't OHKO, especially if he has leftovers. I mean, it's a chance, but like I really don't want to risk that chance. And I don't know, I think my mind was kind of gone. But here I go on my Flygon. I don't reveal that I'm Scarf, so I'm gonna simply click U-turn and try to get a little bit of information on this thing. So he has leftovers. I'm gonna go ahead and go into my Umbreon, which is a safe play. He goes for Recover, and I was kind of scared that he would click Focus Blast. But other than that, he's gonna switch out. I wish I had Baton. I'm pretty sure I have Baton Pass, but I'm gonna simply click Foul Play as he goes into Scizor, which is great because we get 55% off. And with that damage, the Dende is finally expendable, as anything on my team should be able to pick it off at this point, barring Diancie, because I'll probably die to a BP. But other than that, I'm gonna go into my Hawlucha, predicting the U-turn. And here he goes for the U-turn, and he gets a nice little crit and does 32%. That's 4 times resisted, and he got a crit. Now, one thing I did keep in mind is that when I had Umbreon, I was thinking of staying in because I'm physically defensive. The only problem is that if he was banded, then I kind of just lost my Umbreon right there, because I wouldn't have a chance to Wish Protect at any point, unless I Wish Protect right there. So here I'm going to go into my Lucha at 4 times resisted it. I don't want to break my sash on Scolipede just yet, and I don't want to wear down Flygon because Infernape is still a thing. So here I'm going to go to my Lucha as he brings in the Druddigon, and I'm going to tell y'all right now. You guys see, I went for SD, and I'm going to tell you right now, it was either I clicked SD or I went into Diancie, because I'm legit, I'm not even kidding. I legit thought, and I really wanted to switch into Diancie, predicting him to click Stealth Rocks, because like, it made the most sense to me, and I guess he'd think I didn't have balls, and apparently I don't have balls because I didn't do it this turn. I click SD instead. And here I go for Swords Dance, and he does go for Rocks, and I just freaking beat myself in. Oh my god, I literally like hated myself because I knew he was gonna click Stealth Rocks. A really good chance he would click Stealth Rocks. And I guess the only reason why I didn't go into Diancie is because I was scared that it would just drop, and because like I wanted to preserve it for Explosion on Reuniclus. But then again, if I think about it now, if I went into Diancie, I would have prevented Rocks. If he killed me, my sash would have been intact. I could have gone into something that would have just, you know, killed it off right there. But you guys will see later on, like I said, if I had a pre-mega, that would have been fine. But here I go for High Jump Kick, And this Halucha misses. It's blind. It's blind. This Halucha misses. We already have one loss because Halucha missed a high jump kick. And this is the first one. You know, freaking consecutive high jump kick, broken kneecaps all day. And this Drudigan was like, yo, I'm gonna freaking juke real quick. And Halucha messed it up. And I looked at his spread. His spread is like max HP 156 bold or impish or something like that. And high jump kick at 88%, I would have had to get in like a min roll of 86% to not even kill. But most likely, I would have killed this Drudigan and it would have been fine. It would have been fine. I wouldn't have taken 50%. You guys saw I was at 63%. And then he was Rouskin Rocky Helmet too. So if I killed this thing off, I would have been taken down to my Citrus, I would have gotten the Unburden boost, and Acrobatics would have been boosted. But no, none of that's going to happen, because Halucha misses high jump kick, and this thing kills me off with a Thunder Punch. So, yeah, and here, at this point, I'm, like, legit salty, because, like, that really mattered, because, like, here, at this point, if I had high jump kick and this thing would have died, he most likely either brought in Scizor or Renucleus. If you went into Scizor and spam BP, I don't know if it killed or not, but like I would have been able to go into something like Umbreon because I know it's banded from that crit. I calced it. And the thing is that I wouldn't have been forced to do it would have been forced to go into Diancie, and like with the miss is like rolling in my head, and here I go into Diancie selfishly and he kills me off with the Sucker Punch. And that's the reason I'm talking about. If I had Diancie pre-mega'd and like I was actually thinking at the time, I would have taken less from the Earthquake, and I most likely would have taken that Sucker Punch. Like, I probably would have lived that Sucker Punch, honestly. I probably would have lived that Sucker Punch, because I was at 8%, so of course I'm not living. But, like, if I had pre-Mega'd, I would take less from Earthquake, because my defenses are, like, usually high until I Mega Evolve. And then Sucker Punch wouldn't have killed me after rocks. So, in theory, what a mess up on my part. Not only did I miss, but freaking Mega already evolved Pokemon screwed me over, and I totally forgot I got Sucker Punch because I'm already dead on. So here I'm like forced to go into Umbreon, and at this point Umbreon's like the only thing that's gonna save my butt because I have to like Foul Play, Wish Protect stall. So here he's gonna switch out and go into his Coco, and I'm just gonna click Foul Play. I was legit on the back foot. Like I really couldn't do much, and like honestly, if the Drudigan was gone, I'll tell you guys later. But here he's gonna go into Umbreon. I just stay in because I know I can take a hit. He's not Life Orb, and apparently I'm gonna go for a Wish Protect. He goes for U-turn, and he's not Scarfed. So that's one thing good to know. So here he just stays and click Dazzling him. I know I can take this no problem, and I'm just gonna click Wish again. And then here I'm gonna click Foul Play because I can take another one and then Protect on the next turn. But here he's gonna go into Infernape, and we get decent 30% off. But at this point, I get my Wish back, and if he's Life Orb, I should be able to live. If he's Scarf, then I should be able to live that, no problem. But here, he's going to click Close Combat, and yeah, that is Scarf damage, and he's not boosted anyway. I'm going to go for Foul Play, and we barely miss out on the kill. But seeing that he's Scarfed, in my eyes, the best thing that I thought I could do, and then, you know what sucks about this too, is that I kind of just killed my Umbreon, when it really was like the best thing that could have helped me win this match. But here, I wasn't really thinking ahead, and here I'm gonna click Protect. You know, I could have stalled if I wanted to, but I'm not that guy. But here I'm gonna go into my Scolipede. No, this Scolipede. I'm gonna go into Scolipede next turn. I'm gonna sack my Dedenne right here. As you guys see, the Dedenne goes down. No, and like this wouldn't have happened if Halucha didn't miss. Like, come on. And like I'm gonna go into Scolipede, and I know he's Scarf. I'm gonna try and take advantage of this, or somehow pull this back, but I obviously can't. He's gonna go for Close Combat. Does 20%, 4 times resisted, still does a decent amount. I'm gonna go for SD, and here he's gonna get another Close Combat on me before he dies. I'm gonna simply click Earthquake. I'm not even gonna click Aqua Tail. I'm not gonna click Mega Horn because apparently my Pokemon can't land 90% accurate moves. But here I'm +2 speed, +2 attack, and here he brings in a Drudigan. I was pretty surprised because if he just wanted the Scizor, I just probably died to a BP anyway. But here he goes into Drudigan, and I'm legit telling you, like, look at this. He clicks Sucker Punch, we live, which is cool, but we land our Mega Horn, Drudigan goes down, and I die to Rough Skin. And this is very annoying because if Halucha didn't miss, I wouldn't have been forced to set up with Scolipede. And I wasn't really technically forced, but like legit. Like with the Drudigan, like if I had just killed it with Halucha, then the Rough Skin Rocket Helmet wouldn't have been a thing. Scolipede wouldn't have taken that damage from Sucker Punch plus Rough Skin, and I wouldn't have died. So that's one thing that's really annoying because Scolipede was my main answer to kill the Renucleus. So it's gone, and I have like no answers now. Basically, my only chance of winning is to weaken Crocodile and get rid of Renucleus or wear it down somehow for Flygon to just sweep with Earthquake. But that's unlikely, as here We both go, it's a double down. So here he goes in a Crocodile, I go into my Flygon. And I don't know if I did the calc wrong, I honestly don't. But I'm gonna hard switch out, and why did I not click U-turn? See, that's how triggered I was. Why did I not click U-turn? I don't know. But here he goes for knockoff, and he gets a crit. If I did my calcs correctly and I did it right, if he hadn't gotten that knockoff crit, I'm pretty sure Umbreon would have been able to eat up an Earthquake the following turn. And then I would have been able to Wish Protect and get my HP back up. Because if I'm pretty sure, like, I'm going to probably calc it after this match. But if he hadn't knockoff crit me there, then I'm pretty sure Earthquake would have been able to not kill me. And I think I would have been fine. But here I'm going to go ahead, just predict the Earthquake. Actually, he goes for Taunt. What am I doing? But here, I'm going to go for U-turn, finally, and I'm just going to simply go onto my Umbreon and sack it, because at this point, I can't do anything. And at this point, it's basically GG, because, you know, a lot of crap went down, and, you know, it really sucks, too, because, I mean, I will be able to pick this thing off. I would be able to knock out Tapu Koko and Scizor, but this Reuniclus is here. If my Scoldipede hadn't died, or been... Dude, that's crazy, like... I mean, like, instantly after that high jump kick miss, I was just completely triggered. Picks us off with a Psychic, and unfortunately, we're going to take an L this week, or last week, technically. But, yep, your not Dark City, your Big Island Weasels are now 5-2. However, technically, this is our Week 7 match, which was last week, but this week is Week 8 against the Eric and Coin, but unfortunately, he's one of the people that dropped out, so we are going to take a 3-0 victory. So we're basically neutral, because we lost 3-0, but then we won 3-0 for free. But if we had won this match, then I'm pretty sure we would have secured playoffs, and I would have been fine to just like YOLO it. But at this point, I kind of need to win my last week to guarantee myself and not get like tail whipped by the others behind me. But other than that, if you guys enjoyed and are still here, very much appreciated. And unfortunate loss, but as Pokemon for you, I'm just going to look at it as my only 2 losses were from 2 broken kneecaps, and Hawlucha only has 2 knees, so maybe we'll win the last week. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are still here, very much appreciated. Like I said, this is GlitchXCity here, and I'll see you guys next time.